Andrew and Emily celebrated 7 years of marriage, both nearing 30. Andrew held a steady position at a logistics firm, a job he truly enjoyed, earning respect for his diligent work ethic and composed nature. Emily, on the other hand, managed a quaint flower shop, a dream she had cherished long before their union. At one point, she even proposed that Andrew leave his job to help her run the shop as a family business. However, he wasn't ready to leave a role he loved. They thrived, pursuing their individual careers, until one evening when Emily's parents visited for dinner. The atmosphere was vibrant, filled with laughter and an abundance of food. With a sparkle in her eye, Emily cleared her throat and announced, "Mom, Dad, Andrew, I have news." Taking a deep breath, she continued, "We're going to have a baby." A stunned silence was quickly replaced by joyous cheers, with Emily's mother even shedding tears of happiness. Andrew was taken aback. They had been trying to conceive for a while without success, and he had begun to fear that it might never happen. This news felt nothing short of miraculous. Over the next 9 months, Andrew was on cloud 9, catering to Emily's cravings and pampering her at every opportunity. When their daughter was born, Emily allowed Andrew to choose her name, and they agreed on Lily. Andrew was utterly enchanted by her. After work, he would hurry home to give Emily a much-needed respite from the demands of a newborn. With his support, she managed to keep her flower shop running smoothly, without overwhelming anyone else with responsibilities. Andrew made it a point to send Emily on short getaways every 6 months, ensuring she had time to rest and recharge. When Lily turned 5, Emily announced she was pregnant again. Andrew was ecstatic. After the struggles they faced with their first child, he had sometimes questioned his fertility, despite a doctor's reassurance that everything was fine. So, when Emily waved a positive pregnancy test in front of him, he could hardly contain his excitement. "Maybe this time it'll be a boy," she teased. "As long as the baby is healthy," Andrew replied with a grin, pulling her into a hug. Emily then requested that he book her a trip to a resort the following month for some extra relaxation, a task Andrew was more than happy to undertake. Upon Emily's return from her getaway, he met a new client at work named David. Andrew first noticed David's sharp suit and confident smile, along with a distinctive heart-shaped birthmark on his neck. As they discussed the details of an upcoming shipping contract, David casually asked, "So, are you married?" "Yes, happily," Andrew responded, slightly puzzled. David's reply of interesting struck Andrew as odd, but he dismissed it, recognizing David as a valuable business contact. As Emily's due date neared, she grew increasingly anxious and irritable, picking fights with Andrew over minor issues. He remained patient, hopeful that the tension would dissipate once the baby arrived. The day of the birth arrived, and Andrew was eager to be present in the delivery room, but Emily vetoed the idea, leading to a heated argument. Later that night, she woke him with the news that she was in labor. Andrew could barely contain his excitement. They had chosen not to discover the baby's gender in advance, preferring the surprise. They had names ready, Polly if it was another girl, and Miles if it was a boy. Early the following morning, Andrew received a text from Emily with a photo and a message. "Congratulations, we have another daughter." His heart swelled with joy as he shared the news and the picture with Lily. A day later, David called Andrew about an urgent business matter and requested a meeting on Andrew's day off. Always conscientious about client satisfaction, Andrew agreed. They arranged to meet at a coffee shop in a mall where Andrew was already running errands for Emily and the newborn. When he arrived, David was waiting. "Hey, David," Andrew greeted him, exchanging pleasantries. Noticing Andrew's shopping bags, David remarked, "Bet your wife and new baby are expecting a lot from you." "Yeah, my wife just gave birth 3 days ago, so I'm making sure they have everything they need," Andrew replied proudly. David then said, "I know." Confused, Andrew blinked. "You know what?" "I know your wife had a baby," David clarified, locking eyes with Andrew. He placed his phone on the table, revealing a text identical to Andrew's with the same photo. "Congratulations, we have a daughter." Stunned, Andrew stammered, I don't understand. Why do you have that? What are you showing me?" Fear twisted in his gut. "Andrew, we're both adults. You deserve to know. This baby is mine." I don't think Emily told you. Andrew leaped from his seat, knocking over the table as he stormed out of the cafe, heart racing and thoughts spiraling. Determined to stay calm, he resolved to seek proof. Perhaps a discreet DNA test could provide clarity. The following day marked the baby's release from the hospital. Andrew arrived with flowers, heart pounding as he received a new bundle of joy. As he unwrapped the baby from her blanket, he searched desperately for any resemblance to himself. Removing the baby's hat, he noticed a heart-shaped birthmark on her neck, just like David's. "Emily!" he called out, his voice rising. She froze, stammering that perhaps her grandmother had one. But Andrew's piercing gaze revealed she knew the truth. "Why are you lying to me?" he demanded, gripping her shoulders. Emily broke down in tears, confessing that she had met David during the retreat Andrew had sent her to. They had an affair, and when she became pregnant, she contemplated abortion. However, Andrew's excitement for another child made her feel trapped. David had urged her to leave Andrew, but she stayed because he didn't want to take on her older daughter. Andrew listened in silence, then walked out of the house. The first call he made was to David, informing him of his intention to file for divorce and that he would be keeping Lily. He instructed David to collect Emily and her belongings at his convenience. A couple of years post-divorce, Andrew sold his apartment and relocated with Lily to a new city, eager to start anew. Meanwhile, Emily moved in with David. Initially, everything seemed fine, but as their new daughter grew older, David's demeanor began to change. He started to criticize Emily's appearance and behavior, issuing commands rather than offering support. Despite her attempts to infuse warmth into her new marriage, David provided nothing in return. Eventually, his behavior turned abusive, leaving Emily with bruises she concealed beneath her clothing. Losing many friends who sided with Andrew, she found herself isolated and without someone to confide in. Overwhelmed by regret for her choices, Emily came to realize the steep price of her betrayal. She had sacrificed a stable, loving marriage for a fleeting infatuation, ultimately ending up with nothing. The painful clarity of her decisions weighed heavily on her as she faced the consequences of her actions.